What's up guys, Winter Kills here. I'm here with my good friend Partho. You guys might have seen his top 32 YCS Niagara BA deck profile a while back. But this time he's going to be giving you his hero deck profile, so go ahead and get started.
Hey guys, so my hero deck is pretty straightforward. I'm trying to max out on consistency as much as possible. So in this build, actually, I don't play hand traps. The big reason being, in the meta right now, I don't think that there are enough threats that warrant you to play hand traps, because they aren't like pendulums is one, I guess, and then things like Block Dragon BA is another card that have build a board decks that are kind of hard to play against going second, but you have a lot of cards in your side deck for it. So I think it's worth not to play hand traps and just max out on consistency as much as possible.
Sounds good.
Starting off, you're gonna play triple Stratos. The ultis look really nice, and I mean, Stratos is Stratos. It also works as a heavy storm too. If you can put out enough hero monsters, so that's a big part of your deck. Next, 3 Shadow Mist. Now a lot of people play it at even 1 or 2. I just like 3, max out on consistency. You can pitch it with Forest, you can dump it with Vion. I've dumped it with Vion like multiple turns in a row, and it really helps in the grind game. And then this is another one. A lot of people play 1 of it. I just max out on it because I don't have to search it then. It's effect when it's sent from the field to the grave by effect of a spell card, so like through mass change or polymerization is really good. If you open up this and this, you can almost like set up like whatever board you want. Like if you want, you can put out a plasma, you can put out like absolute zero with a mass change set, so you can blow up all your opponent's monsters and spells and traps. You can set up a lot of crazy plays like it, so I just max out on it. And then the last 2 E-heroes we have are 1 Honest Neos and 1 Bubbleman. The Bubbleman is just for the Absolute Zero and the Acid plays, and the Honestinios is just protection and OTK ability, especially with Trinity, the nice 75 attack 3 times.
Insane.
So that's the E-hero package. It is a total of 11 cards, so like almost a fourth of a deck. It's a 40 card deck, by the way. Next is the Destiny Hero package. You play the triple Mali, and then aside from that, just 1 Celestial, 1 Dynatag, 1 Plasma. So I was playing the other Destiny Hero that can draw 2 cards when it's summoned back from the grave, except the turn it's sent there. I forgot its name, but
Disc Commander?
Yes, Disc Commander. But unfortunately, it didn't come up enough for me, and the worst part about it is you couldn't summon it from the graveyard, except the turn you can summon it the turn after, but not the turn you sent it there.
Yeah.
So if you want to revive it off of your Link 2, your Cross Crusader, you wouldn't be able to. So that came up where it bricked me. So just play these. This is all you need really. You might want another one if you really go into grind games, but you really shouldn't with this deck. This is an OTK deck. You want to go second and win. Sometimes it does come up, but it's very rare. I think Decider would be the only other Destiny hero I'd consider playing. This card is actually a secret MVP. Against Striker Orcus, it happens where so much of the time they can just push through everything and go for game, and if you can search this during your opponent's turn, or if you just have it in hand, you can stop 1 attack, and both you and your opponent take 1,000 damage, so it also triggers your increase that I'll show later. But stopping that 1 attack can be pivotal in just letting you survive the turn and then pushing for game the turn after. Celestial lets you draw 2 cards by banishing itself and another Destiny from the graveyard, except the turn it's sent there, which is also really nice, and Plasma is like Skill Drain. 3 Mali is 3 Mali, which is amazing. Glad they brought it back.
Card is absurd.
It is pretty ridiculous. And then the Vision Hero package, 3 Faris, 2 Increase, and then what Increase summons out 3 Vion. Now a lot of people only play this at 1 or 2. I just like having it because even if you open a Vion, it's another card that can dump. For example, you could dump a Shadow Mist with it, search for a Malicious, and then use Vion's other effect, Banishing Shadow Mist, to search for Poly, and then you can start all your plays that way. Like, it's really great, or you can just dump Mali directly, whatever you prefer, but it's a great key starter, and it lets you abuse Farce multiple times if you have to do it that way. Increases effect in the grave is also really nice, getting itself back from the graveyard when you take battle or effect damage, and you can trigger it with things like Dyna Guy too, Dyna Tag rather.
Yeah.
So that's always great. And then, yep. So then the Evil Hero package, just one of each. One Adusted Gold, one Dark Calling. This searches this, and then you use this to banish this on any level 5 or higher monster in your hand or graveyard, and then get out Malicious Bane, which is such a monster.
Yeah.
But even beyond that, like sometimes if you can only search for one more hero monster and you need one more body on board, but you like use your normal summon, at the very least, like even though it's not the best, you can still just put another body on board by itself, and this is one of the few cards that lets you do that, except I guess maybe Bubbleman can do that too, but there aren't really many heroes that just special summon themselves from the hand for free for you, or like give you another body to work with after you've used your normal summon. So, and then now we're getting in, those are all the monsters. Now we're getting into these spells. I don't play any traps, so consistency, 3 cull, so you have 11 targets in deck. You can also search for Honesty Neos. The 1 Rhoda. I know a lot of people are dropping like one of this, but like they're all great. Just remember that this cannot search for Dusted Gold since it's a fiend.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind, but it can search for like most the rest of your deck, which is amazing. And this is something that I'm surprised more people don't play in Heroes. You can dump Shadow Mist to get a search, or you can dump Mali to keep extending your plays. Like if they ash you, droll you, you can dump Mali and keep going.
Yeah.
It's really important, I think. And of course, the one a hero lives. It's a really great card. It can bait out things. The life point cost can be steep. If you don't win that turn, you'll probably lose. So try to win that turn. The next 3 spells, Fusion Destiny. Such a good card. It locks you into special summoning only dark heroes for the rest of the turn. You can still normal summon things like Stratos afterwards, and you can still do other summoning like Absolute Zero before you use this card.
Yeah.
The monster it summons is destroyed at the end of the next turn, but you can just link it away, and whatever you summon, you can summon back with Cross Crusader, and just use Mali for the tribute for Cross Crusader search. 3 mass changes. The reason why you play 3 and not like 2 is because a lot of the time when you have Shadow Mist, you can't special summon it easily, except maybe if you have like a Solid Soldier, like plays around Solid Soldier are really nice, or a Hero Lives, but you just want a hard C mass change, and it's so good.
Yeah.
And then the last card is just the 1 Poly. You only need 1 because Vion searches it for you, and then you have a Link 2 in here. This one that lets you set it when a hero monster is normal or special summoned to a zone it points to, which works out. So it's an even 40. As you can see, it's just like your opponent can hand trap you like once or twice, and you might still be able to play through it. I've had cases where I'm pretty sure if my opponent had Nibiru, like if they Nibiru'd me there, I would have still just like had game another way, but you have to play very carefully. Sometimes it's really a matter of knowing what resources to commit when. So just keep that in mind. And the deck can grind a little, like unlike what a lot of people think. The main parts though is if you use up like this and this, like if you use them both up, like because you play. Let me just go to the extra deck right now.
Yeah.
These are the only links you play in the deck. You only play heroes in your extra deck. Well, at least my version does. So 2 of this, because it's a great recursion piece. Even the turn after, your first turn or your second turn, you can use it, and you can keep tributing, searching, and it just can revive back your Destiny heroes, which is great. This is great for turn 1 boards. Just make everything big, make Plasma big, make Dystopia big, and this one is just, it can float, so sometimes that comes up. If it's destroyed and sent to your graveyard, you can special summon a hero from your hand. So this one locks you into summoning heroes only for the whole turn. Even before that, you can't summon heroes if you attempt to use any of its effects. Keep that in mind. So then we have Shadow Mist and Anki for the dark masked heroes. a lot of people play more than one Dark Law, and Dark Law is really good, but honestly it doesn't come up as much as you might think. I think 2 is fine. You kind of want the space for a couple other cards in your extra deck. It's so tight since there's so many fusions.
Yep.
A Dion for a target for a Solid Soldier. Blast a target for Stratos, and then Acid just a target for either Bubble Man or Absolute Zero. Your fusions, your Destiny Hero fusions, Dystopia. This card is great. You can burn people in time. It comes up every now and then, and the pop effect is also really great. If its attack is different from its original attack, you could quick effect target a card in the field and destroy it. If your opponent has Shizuku on board, oftentimes it'll be live. If your opponent has Lost World on board, it'll be live, so just keep that in mind. There's also Dangerous. So Dangerous, usually I used to, like at the very beginning when I started playing Heroes, I used to just summon it to dump Shadow Mist, but I've learned you could do a lot more things with it. During your opponent's turn, if you search for a Shadow Mist, like if you're playing against a deck that you're worried will just OTK you, put up a couple bodies, put this in like defense, and you can search for like a Shadow Mist or something, and during your opponent's turn you can pitch Shadow Mist by its effect to send another Destiny Hero from your deck to add Dyna Tag to block an attack that way. So it's actually pretty relevant, and that's why you play multiple Shadow Mist too, because you can use Shadow Mist like every single turn.
Yeah.
And then you have Absolute Zero, one of the older heroes in this version of the deck, and it's just a really great card. It's ridiculous being able to destroy all monsters your opponent controls.
Yeah.
Malicious Bane is the new one. It is so good. Can't be destroyed by battle or card effects. Important to note is that it's a fiend monster, so you can summon it under There Can Be Only One. You can also mass change this under There Can Be Only One for something like Anki to go for game. So that can just win you games. And then this is just a generic fusion that you play just any 2 heroes. Its effect comes up sometimes too. It's like an underclock taker for heroes, but you might swap it out for Sunriser when the new stuff comes out. And then Trinity is like your OTK centerpiece. You don't need it like 90% of the time, but when it comes up, it can just be godlike. Like you can attack, like if a Galatea is pointing to one of your zones, summon it there and attack the Galatea 3 times, and that's just game because it won't die by battle.
Dirty.
So it's pretty concise, pretty obvious. I just want to kill my opponent and like push through whatever they have. And like I said, this format, like you have Orcus Striker and like Striker, Salamangreat. Thunder Dragon is the main deck you want to watch out for that are in like the top tables.
Yeah.
Pendulum is another thing, but it's like I think at a lower level right now, and you also have your side deck to deal with it. I can show you that real quick.
Yep.
Nice Nibiru token here, but so pretty simple. 3 Twin Twisters, 3 evenly match for like back row heavy decks. Evenly is also good for just build-a-board decks. And then you have Nibiru as well for like combo heavy decks. Dark Ruler No More again for combo heavy decks. Like these cards are great when you draw even, not if you don't draw them your first turn and your opponent goes off, you can still draw these and it'll be good. This card is just too good not to play, I think. And then Gamma Seal is probably one of the more controversial choices because if you summon Gamma Seal, then you can't use your Cross Crusaders effects. But sometimes I run it over Impermanence because getting rid of the problem card is sometimes more important than not. Like if you Imperm, let's say Colossus, if they stop you, then like it can kind of really suck because they still have a Colossus on board that you haven't dealt with. Whereas a Gamma Seal is like, even if they stop you, at least you got rid of the Colossus.
Yeah.
So it's what I play. It's a 15 card. I like 3 of all my side deck cards, so pretty simple. And then that is pretty much it. There are plenty of things to side out in the main deck because you play so many consistency pieces. Like you can side out 2 Solid Soldiers, a Vion, a Shadow Mist, and even 1 increase in certain situations if you have to. So keep that in mind. Tend to try to side around 6 cards, 3 to 6 cards I'd say, and you should be good. And that's pretty much it.
All right, nice. So thank you so much for the profile, man. Hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like if you did. As always, guys, Winter Kill signing out. We'll see you guys in the next one.
Bye, guys.